Doesn't tell you. Hi, it's Cindy Cohen. I'm here with Nancy Becher, and I want to welcome you to the Women's Entrepreneur Pajama Party interview series. That's what this is all about. This is where women with entrepreneur spirit, aspiring and seasoned women entrepreneurs come together to share as a community, gaining an inspiration, mentoring, and the tools we need to grow our business inside ourselves and out. I'm Cindy Cohen, and for 17 years, the owner of See to Your Health LLC. And in 2018, I founded the nonprofit organization See to Your Health Women's Initiative, which our pajama party is part of. So tonight we're interviewing right before we go to bed, right? Or maybe a break, because we are women entrepreneurs. We work all night long, right? So, anyways, before we are in our break, before we go to bed, we're interviewing Nancy. So I've known Nancy for about 10 years. That's kind of what we figured. And in the years that I've known Nancy, she's an amazing business coach and trainer. I have taken classes from her offline. We have met all around the community with various women over the years. And I've also taken online classes with her, and she's been a huge help. And so I thought it would be great to have her on as our second guest for our series, and she could share a little bit about herself. So, Nancy, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, thank you so much, Cindy, for inviting me. I love being here. I love being in my pajamas. It's great. I don't have to get on the makeup and all that kind of stuff. I can just sit back and relax and be myself. But I am, as you can see, the Chief Flying Pig Wrangler for Business Success Unlimited, because I truly believe that if you sit around waiting till pigs fly, your business will not get anywhere. You need to work it in order to grow it and soar higher. I have been in business for over 35 years helping people. And I love the fact that I am able to figure out and implement new tools and techniques to grow businesses and to be able to share them with other people so that I can see them growing their businesses as well. And Cindy, I love this tool that you're using. It makes you unique, and it's going to actually get people listening to your Facebook lives. And that's what you want, is because you want people to be able to learn and get great information. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for taking time out of your evening. So, I work with women who are aspiring entrepreneurs and are people who have entrepreneur spirit. And one of the big questions that they ask me is like, how do I find my passion? So I was wondering if you could share with us, how did you kind of come about what your passion was? And then how did you create a business out of it?
Well, my first business was when I was 12 years old. And I have just been in doing things for other people ever since I was that old. And it's always been a series of different things, but all along the line of helping others. And when I was living in Washington, D.C., I had one of the very first executive suites in existence in the 1980s. And I had 30,000 square feet of office space, and I rented it out to other businesses. And they would come to me, and we did work for them. We did administrative work and all of that. But my renters would come to me and they'd say, "Hey, Nancy, how do you do this?" And, "Hey, Nancy, should I buy this?" And so we started a mastermind program before it was called Mastermind. And back then, there was no such thing as the internet. And so if I wanted to learn something, I had to sit down and figure it out on my own. Now we've got so many people out there telling us what to do and how to do it that we still don't know what to do. So my passion literally is to figure these things out for people, share them, and then I don't just turn you away and say, "Go forth and do." I help you. I hands on help you to create the plans and the processes that are going to work the best for you. And I love doing it. I love seeing other businesses grow.
Well, they say if you do what you love, then you're never really working, right?
Correct.
I think
Absolutely.
that's true. I think it's true for you too. The other problem is when it's not work, it's nonstop.
That's right. You do have to find a balance in there.
Yes, you do. A struggle we all as women have.
That's
So
right.
could you share with us, in your business journey, what advice that maybe a mentor or a coach or maybe just a friend gave you that helped you the most along your way?
Oh boy, so many different things, but I actually think it goes back to what we were just talking about with finding the balance a little bit. You have to, I believe, you have to figure out for yourself what it is you want to do, how you want to do it, and how you want to appear. For a long time I was like, oh, you want me to do this? Okay, fine. Oh, you only want to pay me so much? Okay, that's fine, no problem. All of those different kinds of things where I was letting other people dictate how I ran my business.
Mhm.
And at one point, somebody said to me, "You're not you. You need to figure out who you are and be you. And that's what's going to draw people to you." And that's why I think what you're doing is so
Oh.
wonderful, is because it's you.
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. Being a woman entrepreneur lets you work all day in your pajamas.
That's right. I wouldn't suggest all day in the pajamas, but
Oh, I would suggest it. Not on appointments. You won't see. Well, I've considered it, but not appointments. So, why you brought up a good point about the charging thing. So I run into a lot of in my mentoring program, women who are just getting started in their business or maybe who've been in a business for a long time. And they tend to make the I want to call it excuse, but it's not really fair, but they have the idea that that people can't afford what they do, so they should just give it away. It should be free, like it should be a free thing, and that in some way it'll get repaid back to them. So how do you feel about giving away things for free, like your expertise, your business?
yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think I've done it for many years. I did it because while I was really, really successful in Virginia, when we moved back here to Michigan, all sorts of life happened, and I was trying to start over again with new clients and new processes and things. And I got to the point where I was so grateful for anybody to even come and listen to me that I said, "Oh, don't worry about cost." And that's fine, and we'll figure that out all later. And it hurts when you do that. It truly hurts you in more ways than you can really think about in the beginning. Number one, how are you supposed to afford to pay for your business? You need to excuse me, even if it's just internet, you need to pay for your internet every month. If you
Right.
don't bring in money, how are you going to pay for all of the supplies and the things that you need, the training, all those things? Plus, it also lowers your credibility. And when somebody doesn't pay you what you deserve and what your value is, then it becomes hard for you to get that from somebody else as well. So there are times when I think you do need to give things away. Like we're doing this. This is free. Excuse me. People can come and see this. They can get value. They can get information.
I learned something.
It does grow your people listening to you. But then when it comes time to run your programs, you do need to be able to charge for it and charge a reasonable amount.
At least cover your expenses, right?
Absolutely, yes. Excuse me.
Oh, that's a big cup of water right there.
It's tea. It's hot tea.
Hot tea, awesome. So, looking back on kind of how your journey has been over these years, when you were just getting started, say you're just now thinking, I should turn my passion into a business. What advice do you wish someone had given you right at the upstart?
To drink some water before getting on the show.
I know exactly. I have my water right here too.
Oh boy. What advice from the very beginning?
Yeah, if someone would have said to you, just think about this while you're moving forward.
Well, I think you need to decide what you want to do and how badly you want to do it.
Mhm.
So often I will see women, especially, that want to have time for themselves. They want to have money so they can go out for lunch with their friends, do things. Um, but they don't really think about what it means to be in business. And they don't have excuse me, they don't have goals and guidelines and
Oh,
a map to where they want to be. They just sort of take off. And I remember with my ex-husband years and years and years ago, Friday night was date night. And so we would get out into the car, excuse me, and we would just sit there. And I'd look at him and I'd say, well, where are we going? And you go, I don't know, where do you want to go? And I go, I don't know, where do you want to go? We'd wind up going back in the house because we couldn't decide where we wanted to go for date night. And business is kind of like that. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
that's a good point. And no plan is a plan, right? No plan is a plan. It's a plan to fail is what it is, but it's definitely a plan.
That's right.
Okay, so we just have a few more minutes of our interview, and I thought you might share with us what your ideal client is, and then if you have any upcoming mastermind programs, or I know you do conferences as well. Are any new books coming out? If there's anything new you'd like to share with us, so we can get everyone hooked into you, and then we'll be putting next to this like your website and that kind of thing too. So we'll put it all in writing as well. So your ideal client, and then what you got coming up.
My ideal client, and this is actually one of the things that I think businesses need to understand about and don't really, because I can remember someone I was talking to, when I asked them that question, they did skin products and they said, anyone with skin. And that's not true. You need to figure out who you want to work with, who wants to work with you, what it is you're doing. So for me, my ideal client is a service-based small business with one or two people in it that is trying to figure out how to get to the next level. They know what they want, but they don't necessarily know how to get there. And they're willing to work for it because being in business really is work. And you have to be willing to put in the time and the energy and the brain power to figure out what it is you want and how you want to do it. So that's my ideal client, is someone who really wants to see their business grow. What I'm doing is that, in fact, I have a brand new mastermind program. The one mastermind that Cindy, you're in, it has been going now for about 7 years. And
Wow, really? Wow.
yeah,
well, that's persistence.
I think it's really cool. I also, and that meets on Wednesday mornings, the second and fourth Wednesday of the month. I also have one that meets on Tuesday evenings, the first and third Tuesday of the month. And we're actually starting in June, we're opening up either one of those programs to just a very, very few new people. And if you are really interested, you can go to my website, which is www.nancybecherbiz.com/mega. And there is an application process that you fill out. And we are giving away a few 3-month. Now, here we go with the free. We're giving a 3-month free trial, which is actually a waiver of tuition, to just give you, if somebody really wants to be a part of it and just really can't afford the $49 a month that it costs, but they would like to see what it's all about. they can fill out that application, and we'll take a look and see if they're qualified for the tuition waiver. I'm also working on a book called Baby Steps to Starting and Growing Your Own Business, which hopefully will be published in September.
Awesome.
One of my newest projects is I am now a certified SCORE mentor. So I'm working with small businesses through the government agency SCORE, which I think is really exciting. And I'll be able to learn a lot of new techniques and help people through that as well. And as always, I do my one-on-one consulting. I'm getting really involved in podcasting, so I'm always looking for speakers to be a part of my podcast. So I'm a busy person here.
That's good. Well, it's not work, remember?
It's not work. Nope. I love every minute of it.
Well, there's always, what is that joke? The difference between being an entrepreneur and someone who works for someone else is you get 60 hours a week you want to work.
That's right.
I love that. I love that freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for most people, that is a big part of why they go into business for themselves, is that they want to be their own boss. They want to pick and choose.
They want to pick and choose. So do you have any last words before we sign off here?
I just think that I will give everybody a tip. One of the things that I suggest everybody do when they're thinking about running a business is sit back, close your eyes, picture where you are 5 years from now. And that's going to actually give you your passion. It's going to allow you to figure out what you want to be doing, where you want to be doing it, how much money you'd be making. You draw a picture of yourself in 5 years, and that gives you a beginning to your roadmap.
Wow, that's a great tip. I love it. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight, Nancy.
Thank you.
Here's our little commercial. C to Your Health Women's Initiative is a 501(c)(3) providing women entrepreneur mentoring to high school girls, women in college, and women from low-income neighborhoods with a health and wellness focus. On November 19th, National Women's Entrepreneur Day, isn't that cool? We'll be celebrating with our annual Women's Entrepreneur Summit here in South Bend, Indiana. To get involved, yay! I know, I'm so excited about it. To get involved, learn more about the summit, our organization, to volunteer or donate to our scholarship program, go to our website, www.c2yhwi.org. That's C to Your Health Women's Initiative, the initials.org. We look forward to seeing you next Monday night as our series continues. See you then. Bye-bye. Bye.